Here we go, and we are back, boys. We're doing another Run It Back podcast. This is on the 2017 CrossFit Games. I'm Kyle Hamlet, and this is the Pardon My Jerk podcast. I'm here with Dunk and Roby. We're going to run it back for you here today. Say what's up, guys.
What's going on?
What's happening?
All
Here
right,
in Dunder
everybody.
Mifflin.
What's that?
Here in Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
Just working.
So, for those of you guys enjoying this as an audio medium of entertainment,
Watch our
Roby has
YouTube
elected to use the office conference room background as a Zoom background, ripping off my idea to use the office conference room.
Well, you know,
I think,
if you ain't first, you're last. So
I think Kyle's just salty he didn't just hop on with that background.
because he's bad at tech. He's
I
bad
like
at
how
tech.
we're 30 seconds into this podcast and you're already quoting Ricky Garrard, Roby.
Ricky Bobby, first off.
So, like I said, everybody, we're doing our Run It Back podcast. We did this previously on the 2010 games. We loved it so much. We're eventually going to work our way through all of them. Okay. And what this is the ultimate rewatch podcast. So we're going to deep dive the highs, the lows, the unintentional comedy, and all of our special little awards that we want to give out to everybody. So how you guys feeling?
Good, man. Dude, so like the 2017 games have such a special place in my heart because these are the first games I watched live. Like, started doing CrossFit in November of 2016, so I didn't get to watch the 16 games. So I watched these games live, and so much crazy shit happened in them that, like, this could be like a 4-hour podcast.
Easily, because it was such an interestingly programmed CrossFit Games.
So much drama.
Yes.
So much drama.
Yeah, man. And I was like, I was trying to figure out like a way we can organize this one as organically as possible, because there are hot takes you could take on pretty much every event.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what'd you think, Dunk? Just like, what were your first reactions going back and diving into this one all over again?
I think this is probably the games that I've watched like the most for whatever reason. Just like watch one event here, one event there. So I mean, every event that I watched had something interesting happen in it. There wasn't one event where it was just like that was just kind of a throwaway event. So yeah, each one had something interesting to offer, and it was good from beginning to end, I thought.
Yeah, this one was an interesting one. It's funny, without burying the lead too much here, like or getting ahead of ourselves too much here, like probably a strong argument that this was the greatest female games ever. Right? There's like a strong argument there.
Without a doubt.
I don't know though, like all three of like the previous, like that 2017, 2016, and 2015 all had good finishes.
Right.
Like this one this one came down to the absolute end, like it was neck and neck, like in the final workout. So obviously it's going to look better in the end, but like each of the previous 2 years were great too. Like,
right.
So like more so throughout the top 5 than just like the top 2.
I'll tell you one thing on this rewatch that really stood out and glared to me. Just like first impressions. I've watched these games a few times now, and the thing I noticed this time is like it's kind of a tired argument that strength is a huge separator in the women's field, right? Everyone always says like in the team events, your team is as good as your girls are strong, right? And one of the things I really noticed this year was the female field was so tight and so competitive, but it was really just that final heat. Like,
yeah,
because it was like, you know, you're watching, and I eventually kind of got wind of it later on as the games went on. The person that wins heat 2, it's like, that's fine. There's going to be 6 girls in heat 4 that beat that time.
I got to a point where like I wasn't even watching anything but the final heat because everything that happened prior to it didn't matter.
It really did.
Like 8 of the girls were beating the top time from all the previous heats.
Right, which made for a very, very interesting final heat, because you went into literally into the final event and there was like 6 girls that still had something to fight for. as far as getting on the podium or positioning on the podium. So that was really interesting. But then there was like a lot of like, like you're watching, you're like the disparity here between like the classes of women was much further. They were much more polarized than they had been in the past.
And you could go into almost every event and like one of like every single girl in that final heat could win that event. Like there wasn't one girl you would be surprised that would win. Like you knew who would, like you had your idea, like if it was a strength event or an endurance event or gymnastics or whatever. You had an idea, but like you wouldn't be surprised if any person in that heat won the event.
So with that being said, let's get into a little bit of background information here. So we're talking about the 2017 Reebok CrossFit Games. This was the first year that the games were held in Madison, Wisconsin. This is the first time ever a podium finisher tested positive for PEDs. More on that shortly. This was the first year of the 35 to 39 Masters division. Okay, so I took a sidestep on this one. The female field for the 35 to 39 division was exceptionally talented too, but the male podium that first year was third place Chris Spieler, second place Neil Maddox, first place Kyle Kasperbauer.
Ooh,
that's a hell of a competition to watch.
Yeah,
OGs in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got the
scoring was
old
super tight. Yeah, so with this year, the men's podium finishers were Matt Fraser first, Brent Fikowski second, Ricky Garrard third, parentheses, Pat Bellner actually finished third. He was moved up to third after Ricky Garrard's PED ban. Women's top three, Annie Thorsdottir third, Cara Webb second, Tia Claire Toomey finished first. Now, this was the closest finish from first to second in CrossFit Games history. Can you guys guess who they passed? What was the previous tightest CrossFit Games finish ever?
The year prior?
Ben Smith and Matt Fraser.
No, actually not even close.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like not even close. There have been several tighter than that.
Was it no, I was gonna say Kalipa and Spieler back in 07.
Maybe, but the scoring system was different. Yeah. And that was 08.
Yeah.
The closest finish in Games history prior to was Graham Holmberg, Rich Froning in 2010 by 3 points. Yeah.
Beat him by one.
Yeah. Notable Games rookies this year. Not a whole lot to write home about. On the men's field, there was Jason Smith, Street Horner, Ricky Garrard, Alex Smith, and Cody Mooney. And the women's field was Jess Griffith, Alexis Johnson, Bethany Branham, now Shadburn, and Jamie Green, now Jamie Simmons. So besides Jamie Simmons, a lot of implications in the team field down the road, but not much in terms of individuals.
Yeah.
So with that background information being given, like I said, guys, so the theme of PEDs and Ricky Garrard and Ricky did this, if it weren't for that, is going to come up a lot. So let's set the clock. I don't want to turn this into PED cast, so I don't want to give him any more shine than he really deserves. So let's take 10 minutes. Let's just unpack the PEDs, Ricky Garrard, how we feel about Ricky. Do we want him back? Do we not want him back? What do we think?
I mean, I could care less if he comes back. I don't think he shouldn't come back. I don't think he should have been banned for life, but if he didn't come back, it wouldn't bother me. But I don't know. He did what he did. He's serving his time, and that's I mean, he's doing what he's got to do to get past it.
Yeah, I agree with Dunk. Yeah, I mean, I don't respect the guy as an athlete. You cheated your way onto the podium. Now, it's not to be said, he still had to work hard. He still was a fit dude. I mean, you can't take that away from him. But he's serving his ban. If he comes back, if he earns his way back, then he earns his way back. He's going to be under scrutiny his entire career now. So if he does come back and he is successful, everyone's always going to say, well, maybe still use him. Maybe he's doing this. He's on a cycle or something like that. Like, I think if he earns it, great. If he doesn't, there's plenty of other athletes that we're excited about. So,
dude, maybe I'm in the minority here. I find the topic of Ricky Garrard a fascinating thing to talk about.
At the very least, he's exciting. So,
dude, he's like the Clubber Lang of CrossFit. Like, I imagine when he's not at the CrossFit Games, he's training in like a stone fucking dungeon with his brother, just beating him with a cricket bat. Like, he's like, obviously this is the good things I liked about him. There's plenty to not like, right? But I was so disappointed when he tested positive, because I'm like, this dude is gritty. This dude is he's scrappy. He's like mean. Like, I loved it. And he did not give a fuck about Matt Fraser. He was like, yeah. I loved it, dude. I thought he was great. I thought he was going to be amazing for the sport. I just loved his griminess and like scrappiness. The dude's a rugby player. He's a tough guy. And then he got popped for PEDs.
Yeah, so, I think CrossFit needs a bad boy, quote unquote bad boy. I know that we like
usually villain is what you use, not bad boy. It's not a boy band.
Whatever. Whatever. But because it is like you need somebody to hate in every sport. Every sport has that one guy that you hate, or you love to hate him. So if he comes back, cool. But people are going to question too if he's successful. Would you have been successful if Matt Fraser was still here? Which the answer is probably no. But
dude, resoundingly no.
Dude, if he comes back, I hope he embraces it and like just does all the shit talking he did in those videos where he was posting.
Yeah. What
was that?
I'm coming for you.
The online, No, just like fully go for it and just embrace the hate. Those guys down there in Australia are going to love you no matter what. So,
oh my God, dude. I love it. I love how he's got this like brother like living vicariously through him. He's
Didn't
like
his brother get popped too?
Yeah, his brother also got popped.
Yeah. His brother is much less charming. Like,
not a nice guy. But
yeah. But like the other thing though that came back, I remembered that race being much closer than it actually was.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
Fraser's way more fit than Garrard is.
Yeah, we kept getting the moments. They're like, Ricky Garrard's really the only one pushing. And I'm like, Ricky Garrard's in like 5th place. Like, he's not
because
really,
he has to push.
Like, he's winning a couple events, but he's not like he's got like 32nd place or like a 27th place throughout the.
Yeah, nobody. It's like a cliche in CrossFit, but he's like kind of your ultimate level of like home run hitter guy.
Yeah,
like he's liable to win an event at any given time, from whatever comes. But he's also not so spectacular that he can win every event.
He's
definitely going to strike out.
Like they do the same thing. It's either they win it or they come in 30th place.
Right. And that's like I said, that's kind of a tired level of analysis, because I feel like we say that about so many top level athletes, but I guess that's really what we've observed, right? Like, you can say that about Fikowski, you can say that about Vellner, like they're the same way. Not really. Panchik and Gudmundsson are both pretty consistent.
Yeah, but they're consistently like 10th. They're not consistently like top 2 and 3.
They're not going to win anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I was super disappointed, man. I was really looking forward to that the sport progressing along, because I just thought he was such a captivating character. Like, he was a personality in the same way Pat Vellner is Uncle Pat, like the personality that we like. He was just another character that we could enjoy and follow, and like now we don't have.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, you know what I mean? Like, I can't stand the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they're great for football.
But he is going to come back, and it's going to go one of two ways. He's going to get either the everybody hates him or the redemption arc, and everybody's going to love him because he's a better person now. Going to get that Mike Vick treatment.
Oh,
Ooh.
there it is.
Big take. Big take.
That is apt analysis from the professionals we bring you at the Pardon My Jerk podcast.
Okay. His band's up next year, right? 2022.
He has to sit this
back.
year out. He can come back next year.
Yeah, I felt like everybody was making it seem like he's coming back this year.
Because they're bad at math. That's why they thought that.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
Because they were like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 4. He has to sit out 4 CrossFit games. Not 4 years.
Seasons.
So like August 7th or whatever, he's back in it. I can't, dude. The 2020 online shit he was, dude, I loved it. I love the shit talking. Like he brought the whole affiliates going straight Thunderdome on him in there.
Yeah, that was cool. It was the Nasty Nancy, wasn't it? That he was like, "I'm coming for you. I'm coming." I was like, "Oh,"
and he used the C word.
I was like, "Bro."
And then they had to explain that that's normal language over there.
Yeah. That's what was funny. It was like, yeah, that word is like totally chill over there.
Yeah.
Like here in the States, not so much.
Yeah. Okay. United,
it's fine.
In my opinion, in my jerky opinion, people probably could loosen their buttholes a little bit about that word. Like, it's.
I mean, they could do.
If you hate curse words, if you're gonna hate, that's true. If you hate curse words, why are some curse words okay but some aren't? What's the difference?
It's 2021. I have no idea.
Okay, well, you're right. Actually, I might go to okay. Well, we don't need to go any further than that.
But that's a whole different podcast to have. I mean, for God's sake, they want to cancel Eminem now, but good luck with that.
Well, I don't think that's anything new. If there's anybody that had it coming.
Good luck. They've been trying for like 30 years. Good luck.
All right. Before we go too far
anyway, 2017 CrossFit Games. That's what we're here to talk about, right?
Yeah. Right. No, people want to know our opinions on life too. That's what they want to listen to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they sign up for.
You guys, any stock market advice or anything? You guys shorting anything anytime soon? Like,
yo, GameStop took another jump today.
Good.
Let's not talk about it, man. I already lost my ass on that.
Do it.
All right. Anyway, so let's get back to it. Let's start off with what's aged the worst, boy, or what's aged the best. So, Roby, let's go. Let's hear your list. Be prepared to be interrupted. What's aged the best? The best.
So the first thing I wrote down Amanda, because they brought Amanda 45. Love that workout. We've talked about it a bajillion times on here.
Yeah.
Workout, adding reps to it just made it more fun for me to watch. I only had 2 for this one.
Cool. I will stop you. Cool juxtaposition for us to do 2010, and then the next one we did was 2017.
Look at us
for a few reasons, right? Like with the final score, all that, like kind of cool going 2010 to 2017 with how things lined up.
Content creators of the year. Watch out. Love it when a plan comes together. And I also had open workouts in the games, doing heavy 17.5. I thought that was awesome. Like, because to me that just lost my train of thought here. That like validated the test of 17.5 for me. Was if it was good enough to be a test in the open, now it's good enough to be a test in the games. I thought that was awesome. So I really like that.
I thought it was fun.
Never want to do it, but
I thought it was more cool if they had 100 bars on the floor than they actually did.
That too.
But that was awesome. I liked that.
Like visually, it just looked awesome. Like 100 barbells on the floor. You're like, this is sweet.
Yeah, I visually that workout was really cool. We've already talked about how I feel about double unders in the CrossFit Games. I enjoyed that workout a lot. I think they should have given him a heavy rope though. But I got I understand why Castro didn't, but I think it would have been a better workout with the heavy rope.
I think the time domain he was going for with that.
I think he did it for like what you said, Roby, to make it like an open workout. But just step it up. I think it becomes a little less relatable to us or to people that haven't used that jump rope before. I think he wanted to be like, I did that workout, but they're doing it heavier, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now I got to try it. See how I stack up to it, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will never try that.
Those are the only 2 I had for what age the best.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all
I
you
got
had?
I didn't want to blow
Yeah,
my whole list up.
I only had
Like,
one because I had other good things throughout the
yeah, there's
throughout
so much
the
good
rest
stuff
of
I
the
want to
things.
talk about.
Really?
I didn't want to put
Yeah.
I didn't want to put it all just in one section.
Okay, well, get comfortable.
So.
All right, don't go ahead.
I had
Thanks.
the final as what aged the best, just for
Okay.
the good finish, the Matt Frazier smiling to the crowd moment, where he's barely freaking trying and he's still beating every other competitor. Yeah, I thought the final aged the best. So I mean,
All right. So what aged the best for me? Good year for Reebok. Good good Reebok color year. Good apparel that year. So
I didn't like the purple. I didn't like the purple.
I just thought they were looking sharp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see like the purple.
I agree.
It was like
I agree
purple
with
and
you.
orange.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just thought the purple was like, I was like, why purple?
The 1 rep max snatch event. So I know Dunk and I already just did like an hour-long podcast about how we're over the snatch. But
I wasn't over it in 2017 though.
right.
Backtracking.
I don't know. It was they were, I think they just kind of backed into a good event there.
So
Like that event could have really easily sucked. And the way it came together, I think was really nice. It just Fikowski and Fraser are talking shit, and Tommy Vanasse is like, "We're going 3 blues." Like, I think they just happened to. Side note: silver medal for me for quote of the games was Ben Smith after the 1 rep max snatch. They're interviewing him, and she's like, I forgot who the woman was that was interviewing him. She goes, Tommy Vanasse said he's going to go for 3 blues in the next round. What are you going to go for? Ben Smith, in his most Ben Smith fashion, goes, I'm going to go for the event win. And I was like, ice water in this dude's veins. Like, yeah, you have fun with that, buddy. I'm just going to win the event.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
I like the format of that event. Like it kept it flowing. Like it was smooth. Like there was never a down moment.
It was watchable with a big group.
It was about as watchable as you can make like a snatch or a heavy event where only one person was lifting at a time.
Right. Yeah. So
40 people.
Kind of in the same vein as that, I wrote down 20-person heats. We did have some opportunities where we didn't have to watch 4 heats of the same workout or 8 heats. So I like that. Josh Bridges, what aged the best? Josh Bridges in heavy 17.5, specifically Bridges. Like, dude, watching him win, or I think he ended up taking second in that event, but win his heat, just gave me like chills, man. Just seeing like, because he had such a rough go of things, he was just getting kicked around, and we'll talk about what was going on with him, but like seeing him have such a rough time and then just come out and just crank one out of the park like that was just awesome. Missed it. Tovar's retirement gets me all misty every time. So Jeff Patzer taking 6th in 2.223. So
dude, that dude is so small.
He wasn't even the smallest dude in the field that year.
Yeah, I know, but like at least the Dakota Reger was like thick. Like Patzer is just like, it's like, oh man, that little guy. What's he doing there?
I love Jeff Patzer. I love that dude.
He's so small.
To this dude, he's so positive all the time.
Listen to this dude's stat line before 2.223. Okay. His previous 5 finishes were 39th, 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 36th, 35th. And then he goes and gets 6th place in the interval workout. So I was like, good for you, man.
Don't call it a comeback.
Then I wrote the update desk, just like watching the events again. It was just nice seeing Sherwood and Marquez, and actually seeing like actual analysis was kind of nice. Like, that was good to see. And then, hey, can we take a second to give a shout out to the fiancés, man? Talk about what aged the best. Like, did you guys rewatch the doc?
Yeah.
Like the behind the scenes with Cara Webb's fiance at the time, and with Shane behind the, you're like, dude, good for you, man. Like these guys are out there supporting their woman, you know what I mean? Being there for them, being the coach. You had what's Cara Saunders, what's her, I think now husband's name?
Is it Matt?
Matt.
Yeah, I think it's Matt. Yeah.
Like he's out there like building the parallettes for her just so she can figure it out. You know what I mean? Like Shane's like breaking down into tears when he's talking about Tia winning, and like, dude, those guys, they were just awesome, man. They were just so cool. But that's it for me for what's aged the best.
Ooh. So the whole games.
You really went into it right there.
I wanted to go into specifics, like what I actually really enjoyed. So let's go what aged the worst. So Rob, you want to lead this one off?
Judging.
Well,
Very
here for judging.
Very just bad judging calls this
there
year.
was some egregious stuff, man.
Yes. Just
Sigmund's
very
daughter, man.
Some rough, some like ones that potentially cost top level athletes a lot of points.
Dude, I rewatched that one a couple of times and I still can't figure out what she did.
I don't know what the judge was looking at on that one. Like I have no idea.
We're talking about the handstand on the strongman sphere, right?
The hand. So what she clearly has done.
She's got 3 hands down.
Yeah, they're like, nope, no rep. It's like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, you are talking, and you know what? It almost is like, you know, I watch like NFL games and I'll get pissed and I'll be like, oh, the ref just wants the spotlight. He just wants to get the whistle out to get the cameras on him. And that's probably not true. But like with these judges are volunteers. They're not professionals. And it feels like some of the judges step onto that field of play looking for opportunities to make no reps.
Yeah. Or I feel like they're nervous to not call a no rep.
Right. Yeah, you're probably right.
So then they're over judging.
Yeah, but at that point, you're almost better. Like if you're that close, just give them the rep.
I agree.
Like you're better off letting that one person go instead of like completely ruining the event for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And let
I agree.
Bob
More of like a
step
let them
in
play.
And make the call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like let the head judge, who is the professional, come in.
Right.
If something needs adjusted afterwards, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also put parasites in lake water age the worst for me.
Okay. Yeah. Let's take a second to talk about
because
for everybody.
I was waiting to see who was going to bring it up first.
It ruined the games for like multiple people. Almost killed one dude. Like,
I mean, it's nothing we haven't already hasn't already been put out there publicly, but there's a lot of so we already know Bridges already came out and said he was just peeing out of his butt for several days. And
violently ill.
The Zeke Grove story is public now that Zeke Grove just
seeing aliens.
He just had a very, very, very he had some serious medical issues after the games, right? But did either of you guys watch those games and think like, yeah, you know what, Brooke Wells doesn't seem right, or she got better as the weekend went on, or like Cole Sager, Duncan's best friend. Like he doesn't really seem right. Like maybe there was some other stuff going on. Like I feel like multiple athletes got sick, not just those two.
Oh, I think those two are. I think those are the guys that were like vocal about it. Definitely, there were a lot of people who just kind of seemed off that year.
Yes.
And it looked like, and maybe from the outside when we were watching it, we were like, well, just because everybody else is just kicking ass right now, like they're just slacking. But now you can look back a couple years later and be like, well, yeah, because they were probably vomiting out of their butt like every 5 minutes before every other event. So,
or like Sigmund's daughter, or somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there had to have been multiple athletes that were severely affected by that.
There were a couple of moments like throughout where like people were just like, yeah, I don't even know what happened. Like, I got real tired, like all of a sudden, and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Like I think Toomey said that about in the the Madison triplet. Sigmund's daughter took like 25th in that event. Like, not things that you would typically see from people like that.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's the thing too. It's like, you know, Bridges has been pretty vocal that he had like, you know, he had the trots, but there was other people that could have just had a parasite that is like literally draining you. Like you just don't have the gas in the tank to participate in this stuff.
Or maybe Bridges just like he drinks with the water as he swims, and like he was just worse than everybody else.
Yeah. Could have just been like
the maybe some Navy people SEALs just swimming like mouth again.
Well, just like taking krill like a blue whale in. Just, and
all right. So,
I don't know if it affected like the top of the men's like leaderboard though. The women's maybe with like Sigmund's daughter, but I don't really know who would have gotten in there. I don't think Cole Sager would have gotten up there. Or I don't think Brooke Wells would have been in the top 10. But
Probably not. Yeah.
Like you could say it affected the leaderboard as a whole, but I don't know if it affected the top of
my
the
argument
leaderboard.
for the Brooke Wells, I know there was something up with her because Bergeron sort of intimated towards that. I think he said about Sager too. That my argument for Brooke Wells is Brooke Wells looked like shit after that. And then as the weekend went on, she got progressively better. Now you could say the events could have just been better for her, right?
Yeah,
but
the first few were not her thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But
She got took some antibiotics or something.
Or just got over it, she just shook it off faster. She's a lot younger than Bridges is. So
True.
But anyway.
I did have one more I had doing burpees over hay bales.
Oh,
not
man.
Just because of like, no, it was just funny to watch all the people in like the booty shorts and stuff and no shirts just breaking out in a rash and shit. That was so funny.
So really you're just upset that people don't go outside ever. Have any clue what hay feels like. It's just
it's like come on. It's hay. It's gonna
people
hurt.
grew up on the beach or something.
Dude, that was like that event,
was funny.
I love the burpee get-overs, right? We said that in the 2010 games.
For sure.
Like the burpee wall climb overs, I think are awesome. I think that was kind of a swing and a miss on Castro's part, just because I don't like how the hay bales like wear down as you go. Like they got smaller as you went, and I wasn't really crazy about that. And like there was like weird stuff with like getting the cheese curd over the bale, and I think it would have been better just with like walls. I
hated that like it was a clean and then a burpee. Why wasn't a burpee then a clean and then just go over?
Yeah, it was clumsy.
It just looked out of order.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
So
is that it for you, Roby?
Yeah, that's what I had.
I had the weather. The weather didn't help anything for the outside events. Like it didn't make the obstacle course more fun. Like, yeah, it was cool the first time someone fell, but like the 40th time someone fell, it wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah. Super not chill.
Yeah. And it was cold. Like nobody enjoys being outside in the cold.
It was like 50 some degrees.
Yeah. I remember that.
Windy,
all these,
yeah, but if you're training, like that's when is that? August?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody's training in 80 to 90 degree weather for the last 4 months. 50 degrees and windy is going to be cold.
Dude, I
mental toughness, man.
On that swim run when it's pouring down rain, I thought it was great.
Not my problem. You're supposed to be the toughest, fittest athletes on the planet. Suck it up.
Whatever, Ruby.
I want to watch you suffer. That's why I'm not out there doing it.
Yeah. I had the assault banger workout is what age is the worst because people cheated. Pretty self-explanatory.
Dude, people were so butthurt about that, and they're butthurt because they didn't think to do it themselves.
Dude, it was so bad. The guys that won it was so bad.
It's George Sanchez, right? He's the one who won it.
Dude,
yeah, at like some unbelievable time.
Dude, they had duct tape on with a hammer that he used because it was so bent.
Dude,
it's that bad.
Did any of you guys pick assault banger for any other event? Because I want to take a second to discuss assault banger.
No,
I picked it for something that I would want to try.
Okay, we'll talk about it then. Okay.
So
go ahead, Don.
What also I had age the worst was the announcers for the assault banger.
Can we just say announcers? Just the play-by-play analysis.
Yeah. Well, they were better. They were better than in 2010. But for this event in particular, it's like they're hitting it wrong. They're hitting it wrong, but they're moving it 5 feet further than everybody else. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like,
he's like, Noah Olson's hitting it all wrong as Noah Olson's in first place in the heat.
Yeah.
He's swinging directly down on it. It's not working, but you're in first place. Well, it's like, oh, and then they cycle over to like Vellner. Oh, he's hitting it perfectly. He's in 12th in the heat.
Yeah.
No. Like, come on, man.
He's moved it 1 foot.
The only thing I'm going to push back on is I would almost venture to say that the announcing or the play-by-play in 2010 was better. Like,
it was more entertaining for sure.
2017, I think, is more entertaining. The guys in 2010 at least like knew what the fuck they were talking about. Yeah. Like, there were so many events. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like in the Triple G chipper, the 100 pull-ups, 80 GHDs, that one. they kept saying over and over and over, every heat, they were like, the person that wins this event is going to be the one that does small sets of pull-ups. And I'm like, why? Why do you think that? Why? And like, he kept hitting on it. Like, I think it was Chase Ingram. And he's like, yeah, there's no reason to do big sets of pull-ups. And it's like, what are you talking about? These people are going to do 100 pull-ups unbroken.
That's like Cody Anderson busted out like 70 to start.
Like the top
there
guys
was some
like
crazy number,
70 numbers.
And it's like, once you do those pull-ups, your arms are done. Like, you don't need them anymore. It was GHDs and pistols. Like, just send it. Who gives a shit about the pull-ups?
I mean, you have to row, but come on. These guys can row. It's what, 40-calorie row?
It was 40-calorie row, and they had several minutes to recover.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
And then
your lats and arms are fine.
And then they were talking about the lake water on the run, swim, run. They're like, oh, this water is so cold, it's freezing. And all the athletes were like, yeah, it's like 80 degrees. That's why there's an algae bloom in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they kept saying it was like 60-degree water. I'm like, that is very cold, but it didn't look like they were struggling that much. They weren't like
a little chilly
when they got out of the water.
Fraser said it was like bath water when he got in. He goes, nobody took the 10 seconds to go just put their hand in the water.
I feel like the announcers were remote. They were given like a synopsis of each event, and they acted like they had tried it out beforehand.
They're zooming in before Zoom was big.
They got the Cliff Notes version of each event, and then they're like, oh yeah, this is the way it should be done, and they didn't come off it. It's like
that one was like, dude, that one bothered the hell out of me. That like they just kept hitting so hard on like the don't do all the pull-ups and big sets. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like looking at some of them too, and like, you know, like they kept trying to break down strongman's fear. Like, oh, it's a bad idea for you to do this, and it's like, dude, this is unless you're Jeff Patzer or Dakota Rager, this is a handstand walk event. Like, rewatching that again, I was like, this really, the only thing that matters is the handstand walks, you know? But, in the 2-2-2-3 intervals, they were like, the winner of this event is going to be the person that moves the best. And it's like, yeah, after you watch Heat 1 go, you should have realized the person that wins this event is A, Matt Fraser, and B, the person is just good at rope climbs, because that was what was smoking people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But anyway, I'll get off my high horse now. Go ahead.
All right, I got one more, and it's the events with less than or more than 4 heats. So like the O course where we had 25 heats.
Yeah. It's
like, come on, man.
Like, you didn't like that?
Fuck no. How you're gonna sit there and watch the same thing 30 times? Like
so you just pop in when the finals.
There should never be more than 4 heats. There should never be more than 4 heats.
Dude, I like that style. I like the event. So in my notes, and I want to talk about this later, but I was like, the O course was awesome until it wasn't, and I just got tired of watching it. Dude, I had that down as like my most rewatchable event for a while, because I just enjoyed it. I thought it was cool because it was going so fast.
Yeah.
You know, and like it was tight down to the wire every time. I thought it was I thought it was probably the most entertaining event.
I want to get into it later, so let's not break the bag on it. But I just wanted to mention that.
Was that your last one?
Yeah, that was my last one.
Okay, so I had what age the worst? I had crashes on the cyclocross obstacles. Just
Dude, this crashes
is not a good look.
I was watching some of those crashes, and it was like, I don't even feel like this is like the people that program this. This is just people being stupid and not knowing how to like bail on something. Like that lady that landed directly on her head. I'm like, what the hell was she doing?
That's a brutal event, man. That was just brutally dumb. It's like she tried to do a full front flip off the bike and just landed directly on her head. And it's like, oh man, this is super dangerous. Some of those people, it was like their first time getting on a bike.
I don't. Man, these are supposed to be athletes.
And like I've said it time and time again, stop riding bikes on grass.
That's true.
I said Ricky Garrard's PR snatch he hit in competition,
and then bragging that it was like a 30-pound PR.
I was just like, a little awkward after the fact.
But he didn't even try and hide it. It's just like, no, I'm using drugs, and I'm gonna brag about the fact that like I'm making these huge jumps. I hope I don't get caught.
Yeah. I said the weights on the muscle up clean ladder.
Age the worst?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, so I thought that workout, they just went a little too aggressive on the weights. Like I think it should have been a little bit lighter, and it would have made the races a little bit tighter.
See, I wrote down for that I was like, I thought this is how they should test strength at the games.
Mm-hmm.
Where, all right, it's heavy. This isn't a cardio workout. This isn't a workout that's meant to be fast. It's who's the strongest and who can do it while doing something else.
That's
like
a fair point.
Another movement. You guys have mentioned that in a workout that you just don't like, and I've always liked that workout. I think it's entertaining. I think it's cool to see them hit that weight.
Yeah.
Like the crowd got into it.
We talked about it on the coulda, shoulda, woulda. We had that event, and I love that event. It just the 4 muscle ups were just kind of there.
Right. I didn't like it was 4 bar muscle ups singles, and the event was just everybody just walked to the bar except for Tia Toomey, and the first like 2 or 3 bars were like irrelevant. Like they should have just. I think they should just taken the weight back a little bit and then made a little bit smaller jumps. But I said, so I loved Tovar's retirement. That doesn't get talked about that much. That was so awesome. The thing that aged the worst though was, did you guys catch the usher or whatever, like the volunteer behind that was trying to get her off the floor?
No, I didn't see that.
You guys didn't catch that? Oh,
no.
It was super cringy, man. So she's like sobbing, you know what I mean, and trying to take her shoes off and leave them on, you know what I mean? And there's an usher behind her trying to she's like, hey, you got to go. Come on. Next heat's up. Got to get out of here. To the point that another usher steps in and is like, hey, she's doing a thing. Like, give her a second.
Yeah, back off.
Oh, dude, it was super cringy, man. It was not a good look at all.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I wrote the doc basically spoiling the end of the games. Did you guys catch the very first scene of the doc
line?
Yeah.
Right. They're like, hey, just so you know, it all comes down to Fibonacci final and Tia probably wins.
I don't think it spoiled it.
I don't know.
But I think the doc is made by CrossFitters for CrossFitters. So it's like you already knew the story coming in.
See, I would disagree with that. I think it's made by CrossFitters in an attempt to get new CrossFitters.
I think you could say that for 2015 when they put it on Netflix for the first time. But after that, I don't know. I feel like they hit the audience with that doc, and then as far as getting new people, the doc wasn't what the doc was meant for. In my opinion, I didn't think it spoiled it either. I thought it was a good. I mean, maybe a little. Maybe they did a little too much, but
they should have cut it off 2.5 seconds earlier. I get them showing them doing the lunges down the lane, that was cool. They shouldn't have they should have cut it off a little sooner, in my opinion. But that was kind of a little nitpicky thing. My last thing though, this is a little punchier than I normally like to get. But during Toomey's emotional coronation as the fittest woman on earth, I didn't need Katrin to jump in there and take the spotlight. You know?
I'll keep my opinion to myself.
No. Don't leave me on a limb on this one. Jump in, give your opinion.
That's just what she does. She likes the cameras, man.
Yeah.
I
feel like every time I hear someone talking about the person that's different off camera than on camera, they're directly mentioning Katrin Davis.
I think it's that whole squad. I think
she's
that
there
whole
for the show,
squad.
man. She's there for the show.
Yeah.
I think Cole Sager's genuinely a good dude. But Katrin, it was they announced Toomey's the winner, and it's Katrin immediately in the frame, hugging on Tia, and then she's then she's doing the whole thing of congratulations, I'm giving this to you now. I sire the title to you.
Sire the title.
And then Cara is sitting on the side. Cara's sitting there, she's crying. Then Katrin runs over to Cara. She has to sit next to Cara and put her arm around Cara. I'm just, hey, maybe you finished 5th place, but maybe take a step back and just let other people have their moment in the sun for a second, you know?
Well, then there's that whole thing where she's getting interviewed, and she's crying. She's like, "It's just hard when you're so close and you just want something so bad." It's like, just stop. Like, you got beat. It's all good.
Yeah, I just
Like-
I wish I remembered the scene a little bit better to kind of open up, like to talk a little bit more about it. But I remember watching it, the live footage of it, and I'm just like, what? Just ride the pine for a little bit, like tell them they did a great job, but like Tia found out, and it was like immediately Katrin's right in the picture all over, you know.
Yeah, but at that point, she had to think that she was the face of CrossFit. So it's like she needed to run out there to like
it's true.
take her crown off and put it on Tia.
That is the truest thing I think you have ever said.
No, because that is because that is a really good point. She is the 2-time defending champ at this point, so she kind of is siring the crown onto someone new. Like,
well,
no.
maybe some people thought so.
Maybe just her.
All right. Who wore it best? Who wore it best?
I won first on this one.
Okay.
You bitch.
Yo, I'm going. It's not even close. It's Cody Anderson's mustache.
Good one, man. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that.
No, I win this one. Just so you know, mine wins. Go ahead, Roby.
Yours wins.
Oh, come on. We're all missing big time. Pat Vellner in the compression shorts on Run Swim Run. Come on, bro.
Fair call.
Go Canada.
The winner.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
The winner is Matt Fraser and his 90s rollerblading gloves that he wore for Assault Banger.
Oh, yeah.
He rolls up for Assault Banger. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yo, I got one more. Tommy Venus's shorts on the snatch.
Oh, yeah.
Were they like
2 sizes short? Too small?
It looked like you wearing your boxers to bed.
And that's already a short dude.
Like, yeah. Dude, I'm not joking. They were like at crease level. It looked like he could have gone out there with the females on the run.
We could put, at least I would say the sleeveless uniforms for the men.
Yonakowski going with
those were dope
every round.
I didn't like them.
No,
I didn't.
Oh, really? I thought they were dope.
I was not into
like them at all.
Really? Oh, I thought they were sick.
Okay. What event did you want to try the most?
Obstacle course.
I had 4.
Pick one.
Damn, dude.
Pick one.
It's the most. Come on, man. We're already at like an hour.
Sorry.
Come on, man.
Sorry. Assault Banger.
That is such a cool event that I have no desire to do to myself.
Yeah. You're by yourself on that one, bro. Obstacle course, man. Looks like so much fun.
You wanted to, because you're like right there with George Sanchez. Like you could crank out that assault bike in 30 seconds and then work on that banger.
Yeah, I think I could actually compete with like the people there.
Yeah. So yeah, good for you. But I said O course.
I would have said O course, but like the O course, you can go to like any random place in any state and do an O course that's just as extravagant.
That's true. That's fair. I'll give you that.
Sounds great. We should do it. Sounds awesome.
That
we'll bring some beers.
I'm watching the Assault Banger event, right? And George Sanchez does 40 calories in 26 seconds. And Roby,
that is wild.
It reminded me of that scene. Remember that scene in The Office when they do Office Olympics? And Kevin's like, I like to count how many M&Ms I can get in my mouth. And he puts them in there, and Jim's like, okay, Kevin wins. Nobody else even try.
Yeah.
So when Sanchez gets 20, it's like just like no one else even attempts that. Sanchez wins.
We're good. We can move on from this.
It was crazy because like he only won by like 10 seconds. Mayer was not that far behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which is pretty bizarre.
Because Travis Mayer knows how to use a sledgehammer.
The crazy thing with it was though, man, that he does 40 calories in 20. Like, okay, let's just say I can do 40 calories in 26 seconds. I'm not getting off that bike and swinging a hammer for, like, you know what I mean?
A full,
like, that's
a
the crazy
minute
part.
and a half. Yeah, a full minute and a half. That's like one of those ones where you do that amount of calories in 26 seconds and you're going in the corner and crying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Vomit is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucked up for a while.
Yeah.
And those guys are standing on like the stage up there, just running around, swinging the hammer, like taking pictures. I'm like, God. I would
No,
not
thank you.
be okay enough to do
Yeah.
that.
No, thank you.
No, of course, they're kind of fun. I would have liked it, to your point, Dunk. I would have liked maybe a little bit more creativity on the O course, like
like adding a rescue Randy drag and
Oh God,
some other
that made
stuff.
it worse.
no, nothing's asinine like that. No, I like the rescue Randy, but
That's right.
like
right.
the wall jump. I don't know, just something a little more creativity.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
like
would-
maybe like one of those nets where you're like upside down and you have to crawl,
Mhm.
like you're like inverted going down the net.
Or like if
Yeah,
they
cool.
instead of just like falling down the other side, they had a net that kind of roll, like you had to roll down the net to
Yeah.
the next thing.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little, I don't know, like a rock wall, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, rock wall would have been cool.
That'd
I
be
think that
cool.
would have been that would have been way cooler than the climb up the rope. We know these guys can climb a rope.
Dude,
That would've been
it
a cool
It needed a
games
zip
event.
line, a big ass zip line. No skill, it just would have been cool as shit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's just fun.
Yeah, you just grab
It's
it.
like it's like the winner gets the zip line back to the beginning.
Yeah. You could make like the rock climbing a games event though. If you think about it, because they have that competitive speed climbing that people do.
Can we
You
get
can just throw
no
them in
harness,
front of a rock wall.
no harness?
no harness.
Yeah,
You're raw dogging it.
free climb, free solo, boom.
Dude, can someone tell me though why they like cut the cargo net in half and like DQ'd people for if they got out of the middle of the cargo net?
Yeah, man, Alex Smith, he got fucked.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
saw
judging was terrible in this.
well, no, I
games.
I'm sitting there and I
the
rewinded.
rules were
this.
stupid.
So I rewinded this because he's like directly in front of the camera. I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, how do you get DQ'd on a cargo net? And like they've got black like lines on the cargo net, but like it's not like they're like climbing in anyone else's space. Like there's wood posts between like each of the competitors. Like, what the hell is the point of this black line?
It's going to be that old Castro like line of like, well, that's just the rules in sports.
No, I mean I get it, and like you can say that, but like, what's the point of it? Like,
why
are we DQing people for something stupid like that?
Well, it makes sense. I think it would make sense, devil's advocate here, if you're on the end, because guys could potentially not have to actually go over the wall. Now, Alex Smith didn't cheat it. He just went outside that line.
What do you mean not go over? Like walk around?
So think about it. If you're on the very ends, you can climb up,
Your
just
legs.
get your chest over and just bring your legs around it.
Yeah.
And save a lot of time.
Mhm.
So I understand why the rule exists. It's just Alex
correct.
Smith was unnecessarily screwed by it.
Then let's
Yeah.
DQ that. Like that's an easy thing to DQ. Let's not.
Yeah,
DQ
like that
climbing
would
up,
be-
not in the middle.
Yeah, that's the easier breakdown of that rule then is if your legs don't clear the top.
Or let's not
See
DQ that and just let every other CrossFitter make fun of him for being an idiot when they come back.
That too, yeah.
All right. Who'd you guys like the best?
Who did I like the best? Man.
So,
I like Tia. I had Tia down because she won, obviously. And this is like her kind of coming into her own, becoming like the lead woman in the games. But you could have tons of people on this list.
I'm not usually like a Cara Webb person, but I came out of this rewatch liking her a lot more than I thought that I would. So I think she was easily my like favorite. I was kind of rooting for her, even though I know who won towards the end there.
Dunk was so disappointed.
You guys have guys you liked?
I mean, the guys hadn't really changed.
Jeff Patzer.
I like Dakota Reger on the what was it? The Amanda workout. Was it Amanda that he won?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that a 5'4" guy could win.
Yeah, I just like Patzer's interviews where he was just like, yeah, I'm just like an IT guy, just like hang out. But I'm like super fit. Like that dude walked into my office to fix my computer. Be like, God damn. Like, what are you guys doing downstairs?
I like I came out Valvo Boral. I mean, the chick was 39 years old at the games. I don't know what this means in my notes. I got to be more specific, but I wrote Cody Anderson, and then parentheses I wrote the anti-Patzer. I don't know what that means.
Because he's strong and
he's just tall.
Yeah. Tennille Reed Burline, she just seems like a super chill person to hang out with. Like, definitely someone that like went out and got beers after the games. How do you not fall in love with Alethea Boone though? You know, she's like, I don't know. She was coming off that nasty injury, and
Yeah, true.
The whole time I'm watching it, I was like, how is Alethea Boone like not in the final heat? I feel like she like blows every event like out of the water.
But that's what
Like-
you were saying. That's what you're saying. Though they win that heat and then
That's-
they lose to everybody else in the next heat.
That's true.
Yeah, the
That's true.
disparity between 10th and 11th place was like almost 100 points.
Who'd you guys like the least?
Oh, before we move on,
Okay.
we'll say this. I'm going to miss the Fraser interviews because basically every single interview that someone besides him, it's just like, well, I'm just trying my best. I don't want to get out of my lane. Like,
Yeah.
and I just said that I like Carl Webb in this, and she does like one of the worst about it. But yeah, no, I just like I'm pretty tired of the humble, like, I don't want to push any harder than my body is able to. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like I'm not looking at the person to my right or left. I'm like, but you should. This is a competition. Like,
Yeah.
you should want to beat the person to your left and right. So
That's true.
no, this is just a little sidebar.
So who'd you guys like the least?
I'm gonna go Noah Olson.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Boom. Boom.
Did this guy like sleep with your girlfriend or something? He's a nice guy.
No, I don't know what it is, man. I got nothing with no like for him.
Just like now he's got those dreadlocks now.
Yeah,
Ugh.
now
Okay, yeah, he's
like,
not okay. I can't defend those dreadlocks.
He's
but
getting
like,
worse.
come on.
He's getting
Come
worse.
on, bro. Come on.
I also I wrote down George Sanchez too, just because of the assault banger.
Yeah.
why? Because he's faster than you.
Yeah,
That son of a.
yeah, no, that was humbling.
I wrote down lake water. I wrote down hay bales,
Oh, so you're not-
judges.
this is
That's all stuff
this is
we've
a
gone
who.
over.
Yeah.
This is a who, bro. This is a who, not a what.
Yeah, I'm personifying the lake water. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. I don't have.
We already did what's aged the worst, man. Don't be.
And
I
my
didn't know
list
there
was
were
already 4
rules.
times longer than your guys. Anyway, try not to put all that negativity out there, but I do have a who. I put Ben Gerard.
Damn it. That's my
a good
who.
one. That is a good one.
Yeah. My
Super
who's
sketchy dude. The whole vial exchange. He was either giving him steroids or some film to be developed in 1996.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like he definitely had oxycodones on him at all times at the games.
He's like selling
Just-
them to kids.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, you guys are looking. Just let me know. Yeah, he was who I disliked the most.
You gotta
I-
put Shane. You gotta put Shane Orr in the who you like the most though, because he was the winner of the doc.
We already,
Oh, yeah.
but we already said the fiancés.
Yeah.
I had
I
him
mean-
in who I like the best, but I was like, I already gave him some shine. But yeah, he
Yeah.
wins the doc.
He needed more. He needed more shine.
That dude, watching that doc, I was like sweating. I was stressed out for him, even though I knew what happened. I was
Yeah.
like, God, how did
I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, if anything happens between him and Tia, like I might give him a call.
Yeah, just, bro, are you good?
partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he you're right though, Dunk. He won the doc.
Yeah.
So best affiliate workout, best one to be put into a CrossFit affiliate.
I said the 2-2-2-3 interval.
Fair
Just
choice.
because like you got 4 ropes, 4 ski ergs, and you can kind of even do it with like moving down the
Mhm.
gym as you go. It's kind
Right.
of something you're not typically able to do.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a cool one to do in like a little Friday Night Lights thing, like you used to do, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think that one would be a cool one.
I had the chipper
Okay.
because it's it's scalable. It's equipment that most affiliates have.
Yeah.
You know, you can scale it a bunch of different ways. You're still getting a hell of a workout with it. I mean, I did it over quarantine and I just did bent over rows instead of pull-ups.
You
And
might have to like switch because most affiliates I don't think have that many heavy dumbbells. So you might have to
Well,
like
yeah.
switch the row and the dumbbell maybe. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. I like that workout a lot.
me
I
too,
liked
man.
it a lot. I liked it a lot, but I felt like it was one of the more boring rewatches because it was just long. Like that's
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
ones that like you obviously I would prefer to do in an affiliate. I'd be happy about doing that when they programmed it for the week. But it was just one of the more boring rewatches, I thought.
Mhm.
Anything with
it was an
anything with
affiliate
high
workout.
reps. Yeah, anything with high reps and like it just like watching 100 pull-ups and 60, 80 GHDs isn't exactly exciting.
Right.
So
Yeah, I wrote heavy 17.5. I like that one a lot as okay, so 17.5 is obviously we already have proof of concept. It's a great affiliate workout. I like the heavy way of doing it though, because it's easily scalable.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you're one of those athletes that would normally do, if I'm sitting here briefing the workout to my athletes, I'm sitting here saying like, all right, we want you to choose a weight that you can go unbroken for most of the workout, pretty much. If we want to like elicit the stimulus for those thrusters. Now I'm going to tell somebody like, okay, if you're normally a 75-pound thruster person, why don't we give this a shot at 95 pounds? And it's just going to take a little bit longer, you know? And I think it'd be a cool workout to throw into an affiliate. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting one. What was your most rewatchable event?
Fibonacci, man, the final.
Yeah,
I like that.
Enlighten
to me.
us.
There's just so many awesome, just the moments in it. Like I don't want to take away from anybody else's, if anybody's going to talk about it later or anything like that.
No, unpack it now. Let's do it.
But the moment, you know, where Frazier hits that minimum work requirement, looks up and is like dominated it, smiling, having a great time, doing what he loves, and then obviously the race between Tia and Cara. Like I could watch that every single day and still get goosebumps, still get fired up, and be like,
we'll go over that with the obvious like best finish of the games, but
yeah,
it wasn't just the Tia Cara finish either.
Oh, no, it was all sorts of stuff.
It was Sarah. It was it was Annie. It was Katrin. Like it was that was a very important race.
Yeah, it was a dogfight for everyone.
If you're gonna say the Fibonacci, it's mostly the women's Fibonacci because the men's Fibonacci was like it wasn't programmed correctly.
Once Frazier hit that minimum work requirement, it was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. No, but the fact that like only 4 guys or 5 or however many guys, like 7 or 8 guys made it just even to the lunges, it seemed like.
Right.
Like it just that was the weights were too heavy.
Castro said he said later on, he actually came out and admitted like, yeah, that one just so that was the one that I think it was Julian Alcaraz tested that one. It just happens, I think, to be like a wheelhouse workout for him. Gotcha. And he got where Castro wanted him to get. And it just for whatever the reason it could be, it just didn't come together. He said he's like, I went like a little too aggressive on that one for the
just
men.
A time cap. I don't necessarily think I'm kind of walking backwards, but I don't necessarily think it was too heavy. It was just the time cap was really aggressive.
Yeah, 6 minutes. Fast.
I think that deficit, the deficit was tough too. That was a rough deficit for some dudes.
Well, dude, they were talking about how like some of those guys, each kettlebell weighed 30 pounds more than they did.
Yeah.
I feel like the average CrossFitter is far less than one of those kettlebells.
What were they? 205, 206 or something like that?
Yeah, you got to think the average CrossFitter is like 180, 185.
Yeah, it's like body weight per hand picking that up. That's wild.
Yeah. When you had like Logan Collins, poor guy.
Yeah, but he finished it.
And he finished.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But he was
just doing singles.
Ripping through it, man.
I had the 2-2-2-3 intervals. I thought that was it was another one. It was fast. Totally different style of event than we've ever seen. Super creative. I've used that same structure in my own training many times. It always works. And I think it just towed the line of like, it was so cool. You were seeing people like that just bottomed out. Like it was a race to the finish because people came out super aggressive and then died. And not just Noah Olsen either. Many athletes did, you know? So I think that was such a cool one, just with how aggressive the test was, how interesting it was to watch. It was fast. Everything was good.
Dude, what the hell happened to Olsen though, man? Like he was struggling on like the 3rd round of rope climb.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it and like they're showing is the 3rd round and he's like barely hanging on with his fingertips. And I'm like, what? You're on your like 5th rope climb, man. I get it. But like
100% empathize with the guy. being someone who has latched onto the top of a rope at the end of a workout several times.
Yeah,
I get it, but we'll get to that moment later on.
All right.
as well.
So did everybody go on most?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Least rewatchable event. This is pretty much a 2-horse race here, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll get mine out of the way then, since you guys took the obvious ones. I'm gonna go the O course, and I said, dude, 26 heats. It took 26 heats to get through that whole thing.
For like
I
a
guess
minute
I
and a
should
half.
see that.
26 heats. It was raining. People were falling all over themselves. Like, that didn't make it any more exciting. And that's not anybody's fault. But it was raining. Like, the judging was poor. Like, there's a lot of like just questionable calls. I got bored by the time I was done watching. I wasn't excited to finish. Like, I wasn't excited to watch the championship heats by the time we got there. Just put it that way, because I had already seen all of those freaking guys go 3 times by now.
It would have been cool if it was every round was like a different O course somehow.
Yeah, but
Like
then
to
Or
change
they
it
had
up
to like
some.
reverse it or
Yeah, but then-
something. Yeah.
well, then
Something like that.
They blow
Yeah.
their budget on the O course. Like, good lord.
So we
one of
couldn't
those
afford the
things, it's like-
ropes.
That's one of those
Too
things,
expensive.
man. It's one of those things. It's like, was it worth it to put that thing up?
I don't know.
Yeah, they could have stayed in SoCal and just done it at Pendleton again.
Yeah, true. And that
Yeah,
one's probably cooler.
I'm sure they had it there. Like I said, there's obstacle courses all over the place. Drive them an hour away and do it if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you're probably right.
There's got to be like a National Guard base somewhere in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But all right, for worse for me, I had cyclocross. It
That's
just workout was a
probably the
mess.
answer.
We've unpacked it. We've unpacked it before. I mean, biking on grass sucks. The crashes were insane. It sucked.
Dude,
It was too long.
first of all,
man.
the
Like, it
race
didn't
is
need to be
so
3 laps.
it's
laps.
long.
Yeah,
Each lap was so
3
long, dude.
3 laps.
Pat, I'm gonna quote Pat Sherwood here. This is a verbatim quote from Pat Sherwood.
Kyle, you're breaking up, bro.
Yeah, you broke up there, my man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
good
back
now.
now. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys a verbatim quote from Pat Sherwood.
Okay.
Okay.
Love it. Love
You
him.
don't want to see anybody get hurt, but you do want to see them fall.
That sounds like Pat Sherwood. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
about right.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about. I mean, it's just long and not a whole lot happened. There wasn't like a lot of passing.
It should have been
No.
like they should have been like half-mile laps, not mile-and-a-half laps. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
we needed some
4.
speed, like some people like
Amber.
flying. Like, I wanted to see Ricky Garrard like drifting around these turns like he did after he finished the race.
Right. Almost like they did in Crit the following year, which was a great event. Moving on before Roby has an opinion.
Yeah. I've made my peace with it. It's fine.
I said run, swim, run. Just because it's just been done so many times. Like, just we've seen the same iteration of this over and over. And I'm watching this. It's the first event too. And I'm just like, what am I watching? You know what I mean? Like, just like nothing's happening.
Yeah, do we really need to start every year off with like just a long run? Like, why can we start it off with like a long kayak? Like, you got a big ass lake there.
The
Well, we did that
2019
paddle.
games were the best programmed games ever in the worst games of all time. Because they took the endurance event and put it right smack in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, if the goal is to like get listeners, like draw their attention in, doing it with a 30-minute workout of just running and swimming is the way to do it.
Right. Yeah, swimming's such a great test, but it's so goddamn boring to watch. It's like,
And you never
Well, you
know,
don't know what's going on.
who's where. Yeah.
right. The pool, yeah, you don't know who is where. That's
Yeah.
why the pool workouts are awesome.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, we don't need to beat that one too much harder. All right, so let's get into some of our named events, okay? So the Saunders Toomey finish of the games. I wonder who this one goes to.
Do we even need to talk about this one?
Yeah,
or?
the award is named after him.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cara Webb and Tia Claire Toomey.
That was
There we go. Good. Moving on.
probably the most. And this could be a whole podcast in and of itself. That was probably the most exciting event in games history to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the few times I was watching it live and I'm like standing up on the edge of my seat. Can't even like say
Yeah.
it was insane.
I remember watching it and being like, holy shit. Like, no idea who would won, which that's crazy.
Yeah, like my mom and brother were watching it with me. They don't give a shit. At the time, they didn't give a shit about CrossFit, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is crazy."
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, we need to start training like situational awareness though with like these athletes, because why did Tia just drop the weights and then just kind of like, I'm gonna shake it off without ever looking to her left? You know?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, why do these people just like look straight ahead and not have any clue like what's going on around them except for like a few?
Fraser does. Fraser's big on it.
No, but like
Yeah.
if she just looks to the left, she just picks them up, and it didn't look like
Yeah.
she failed because she went, I don't know, however long unbroken.
Mm-hmm.
She picked it right back up and was fine.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but
yes. Yeah, you guys are right. That was,
Yeah.
that
There's
was the
really
finish.
no reason to unpack it any further.
I mean, there's a couple
It's
other
good.
ones that like
Yeah.
were really good finishes where
Oh,
like
yeah.
they would have been like tops in any other year. Like,
yeah, that's the problem. There
Yeah.
were some great finishes, but it's just
Mhm.
like there's no touch. Like the Fikowski, Fraser, and Strongman Spear.
Yeah.
It was great, but you can't touch Saunders and Toomey. That's the greatest ever.
Yeah.
This one could have some discussion though. James Newberry Award for fucking sending it. Who you
so
got?
I put Noah Olson for 50% of the events. I think this was the year that Olson realized he's like, all right, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
There was like 3 or 4 events where he was like out of the gate hot, and then he was just not near the top of the leaderboard by the end.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's funny.
I had the entire pack on the run, swim, run, where they all ran like a sub 5-minute mile for the first mile of that.
Yeah, and they all fell out except for like 4 people.
Yeah, because I think it was Bridges was talking about it. He was like, "What are we doing?" I mean, obviously to Noah Olson on the 223.
Yeah.
No, I'm surprised neither of you guys said this. How do you not say George Sanchez on the assault banger?
Because he won.
That's the
we already talked
ultimate
about
level of full send.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
I like the full sends where they crash and burn at the end.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like happy
Well,
ending full sends.
Yeah, I mean that is why we did consider renaming this the Jason Kalipa Award for the ultimate crash and burn.
I also had Cody Anderson in the Triple G chipper too. I don't know if that was as much as a full send as he was just not very good at the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, I think there you go.
he got to a 100-pound dumbbell and was like, oh yeah.
No, he fell off. Like he hit the 100 pull-ups and fell off by the time he got to the GHD.
That's the next movement.
Speaking of full send, I love how when they got to Amanda in the doc, Ben Smith was like, dude, you got to go back and watch Jason Kalipa do this workout. I was laughing out loud. I was like, oh, we just talked about that. Okay. The Brookwell's, we're going to rename this one. Sorry. The Brookwell's Holy Shit, That Was Close Award. This actually is going to have to be renamed the Jason Kalipa Holy Shit, That Was Close Award going forward. This is tough.
I had one. It was Vellner face planting on the O course.
Yeah.
You guys
that was
I
the one I
couldn't
had.
find it.
Dude, yeah. I think it was his semifinal heat.
Mm-hmm.
Dude comes off the wall and just like full, like, it's like, all right, I'm just going over this and I'm not even going to like try and jump. It's just like he went directly into the wall.
Yeah. He had to go to the hospital. They took him to the hospital after that.
No, that wasn't this year.
Okay.
This was on your stupid. Yeah. No, that wasn't even Rescue Randy.
Dude, I thought it was this year because he had to. I thought he like might have broke a rib or something.
That was when him and Fraser fell off at the same time.
Mm.
This wasn't the cargo net. This is one of the walls where they were jumping over.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like literally, he just runs into it and just flips over it.
I thought I remembered Vellner falling, but I couldn't find it. So I found a pretty good one. It was on the Madison triplet, and Ricky Garrard wins that event, or I think he wins it, right?
Yeah.
And
yes,
he's coming in for his like victory lap, and he goes past the crowd, and he's like fist pumping the crowd, and he's like getting them all hyped, like, yes, I just fucked this workout. And he's running, and then he goes to hit the transition onto like the mats, catches his ankle, rolls his ankle, and nearly snaps his ankle.
Yeah, he like legit rolled
Amazing.
it too. I was like, oh man, that could have been terrible. Like, what would you do? I feel like at that point, like no matter how broken it was, it's just like, bro, you got to keep going. You look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And you have to,
Like-
you not only that, you have to finish the whole games. You cannot,
Yeah.
you can't
It's
withdraw.
Yeah,
Just get some of your brother's oxys. You'll be
you know
all right.
that guy's got some painkillers in the back, so
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
you could go with Roby. Did you have one?
Mine was Vellner's thing, because I remember watching that and seeing him fall.
Yeah, I think
But,
that was at a different year. You're talking about where
so
he fell off
I
the
must-
top of the
yeah,
cargo
well,
net.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I fucked up then and watched the wrong one. Thought I put 2017, but
So
what was the girl's name that went head over heels on the bike too in cyclocross?
I don't even know.
Because that one was
Chelsea
like,
Hughes?
yeah,
She
because that one
yeah.
was bad.
That was in
like
the time trials too.
yeah,
That's what I was saying. Where
that
it's
was
like
bad.
these are supposed to be athletes. Why are you like just face planting into the like
Mm-hmm.
she swan dived into the ground?
Cyclocross was just not a good event. They didn't know what not what. I hate the obstacle thing they had to do where they get off the bike and carry it and like have to run with it.
You could go with Fikowski nearly busting ass on the run, swim, run too.
Oh yeah.
That looked like it could have really hurt. Like no shoes on, pavement, like so.
Yeah, he's like a skin knee, like a little kid. Just so going forward, this award will just after doing this twice, this award just has to be called the Pat Sherwood quote of the games. Doesn't have to be from Pat Sherwood, but he will forever bear the namesake of this this award. Who you got?
So mine isn't necessarily a quote. It's more like analyzing a quote. So it's on the Madison triplet when I think it's Chase Ingram is talking about Sam Briggs, and he's like, Sam Briggs is making 39 of the fittest human beings look average. It's like a kind of an iconic thing throughout like the event. It's in the doc. And when he said it, Kristen Holte is 1 rep behind her, and Tia Toomey is 2 reps behind her.
You had me going so good.
I was like, whoa.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on, man. Like, eventually, yeah, she made a bunch of people look average, but like, he said it on round 2. It's like he just assumed. It's like, all right, he's probably right to assume, but just like, all right, I'm just gonna go with this.
Yeah,
we can plug this in the doc, and I'll look good later.
Right.
So
for the brand,
for the
brand, have, Roby?
Do it for the brand. I think this was Chase Ingram that said this. It was during the interval workout when he said Noah Olsen might see his games slipping through his fingers. No, I'm just kidding. I had how Castro did the announcing who the females, like who won the females, where he was like, the fittest woman on earth is from Australia. Like, I thought that was awesome. How he did that. That was a cool. I mean, it's like a cheesy quote, but just because of all the hype that surrounded that and the race that came before it. Yeah. That to me was like just a cool quote from the games.
Yeah. He did that with Iceland 2 years prior too.
Yeah.
But
so it's like kind of like part of, I guess, the culture of the games for him.
Yeah. I feel you. Dude, Sherwood is just he goes, Carl Webb decided not to do the reps. It's faster if you don't. Dude's a gold mine.
That is great.
But my quote of the games, I had so many written down, but it was like by far this is it. Losers let it happen. Winners make it happen. Ricky Garrard, confirmed user of PEDs.
I did have as like another joke one. I had when Ricky was pulling his brother and his brother had his feet like dug in with the things where he goes, pussy. I had that too. But I was like, maybe I'll be serious for a hot second here. But yeah.
No, I didn't think this was a serious award.
Yeah.
No, well, I honestly it's funny. It is funny, but I chose that because I was like, it is funny, but it is pretty ominous and kind of telling of sort of the legacy of those games, right? Mm-hmm. Like you hear him say that, and in the moment you're like, oh, that's cool. But then the legacy from this games really comes down to 2 pieces of information, right? Like Toomey's first win and Ricky Garard getting busted for PEDs, right? Those are the things that are going to pretty much define these games. So hearing him say that, I was like, it's 50% funny, 50% whoa,
Right.
Yeah.
type of thing, you know?
It's a quote from the doc. Remember when they were like telling the athletes in the doc that he had tested positive, and they were like getting their reactions. I liked Sigmund's Daughters, where it was like Chris Farley and the Folgers Crystals SNL thing, where she was like, "What?"
Dude, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if her reaction was. I couldn't tell if her reaction was genuine or like they told her prior, and they're like, "All right, now act like you're surprised."
It was like the sixth take. And she's like, "That's big. Oh yeah, that's
man,
that's crazy.
That's a huge deal."
Yeah, I just imagine just like Chris Farley be like, "You son of a bitch." Like, oh man.
So perfect segue then. What was a defining moment of these CrossFit Games? And be specific.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Oh, I had Tia collapsing to the floor when she found out she won. Like that, like all 2 years in a row of like almost getting there. Then all the controversy of like, oh shit, she might have missed it again. She might have just not done enough. And just the overwhelming emotion. That was awesome. Like that to me was that's what the sport is about.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I had the Fraser smile to the crowd.
That was my number 2.
Dark horse. I wouldn't have thought to pick that, but that's another good call.
I mean, I just think of it when like you think of like Fraser's 5 titles. That moment kind of stands out when you're thinking of it. So
sure. And like the Fraser retirement highlight film that they play, like that's going to be on there.
That's like the last. That's like the last scene.
Yeah,
I'm just smiling
in like
up
slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that. I just said Toomey winning Fibonacci. Like I felt like, it was almost like a microcosm of that whole weekend for her, right? Like it was, I have it, I don't have it, and then she ends up getting it. I thought it was so interesting how it was when Toomey won the squat clean, right? When everyone was like, Toomey just won the games. That was the event, right? Where
it was like a statement event. Yeah.
I thought that was so interesting how everybody was just like, that's it, Toomey just won. I didn't think it was that plainly evident.
They were saying it like at the game, so it wasn't like, oh, this is like an afterthought.
Right. They showed Castro just called it. He was like, yeah, she just won.
It was bizarre too, because she wasn't even in the lead like during that event. So it's like it's not like she had been winning the entire time.
Right. Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. They managed to make that call, or at least that Castro managed to make that call.
Yeah.
All good. I think those are all very good takes to you guys all went different directions with it, which I thought was kind of cool.
All very sincere.
Yeah. Right.
I'm glad that
no ironic responses.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're done goofing. I mean, you could put Noah Olsen falling off the rope. I mean, come on.
That is an iconic Olsen moment.
Hilarious. But
was the winner of these games the fittest on earth?
We're just talking women, right?
Yeah. Do we even need to discuss the men or?
Sure, we can. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, Fraser's the fittest on earth.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So the women.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, over the next couple of years, we see that she's deserving of that title, and she finished in second place the 2 prior years. So, yeah, I think she was the most well-rounded athlete.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that.
I would say yes. I mean, just to piggyback off Dunk, 2 years prior, second place, had a couple little missing pieces, had some, stuff upstairs she needed to put together, and she put it all together in 2017, and now she's still the champ. So,
yeah. So let me ask you guys this. I wrote this down actually in the middle of us recording. So you did not get any prep on this. So if you don't have a super well articulated answer, it's fine. Were these the greatest games ever?
No.
For women, yes.
So. I mean, and we're thinking top to bottom, right? Like location, crowd, programming, where the race is good, where the Was it an interesting finish, right? Was this the greatest ever?
No, I still think 2015 was. 2015 introduced the generation, the next generation of athletes, like the people that we have kind of followed over the last 6 years. 2015 has I think the most iconic event in Murph, the original Murph. 2015 had 2 great finishes. I mean, the women maybe not as much, but there was drama all the way up till the end. The men drama all the way up to the end, and we can't say that has happened very often. So, I think 2015 is the answer.
You have sold me off of 2017, but you have not sold me on to 2015. I think there's one other CrossFit Games, at the very least, that was better.
2020, dude. Best games ever.
All right, turn your
2021 will be. But we'll save that for another podcast. Okay. No, I think it's just an interesting kind of thought to have. What do you think, Roby?
I would. It's tough, man, because I would say in terms of the women's competition, yes, 2017 is the best games ever in terms of the women's competition. But if you're looking at it, if you want us to encompass location, programming, all that, Madison's not that great of a place for the games.
I was much more of a fan of Carson.
Carson was sweet. I like that they had the stadiums and they had different arena. That was cool. But yeah, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sold on 2015 after Dunk's great dissertation there. I'm pretty sold on that. Not 100%. I would have to go back and watch other years, but I don't know. 2016 is a hard bargain too, though.
Dunk, you make a strong point.
That was the year they introduced the pegboard. They had the pig. I know it wasn't the original pig, but it was the pig. They had it was.
A lot of people would agree with you. A lot. I'm just not one of them. You make a very strong point, but I just know in the back of my mind what I think is the best games ever.
I'm curious as to what you're going to say here.
All right. Well, that wraps it up. I don't have any more questions for you guys.
You're not even going to give us what your best games is?
No. The listeners are going to have to tune in for a future podcast to see what the greatest games of all time. What's that?
Man,
that we haven't planned yet, or
I am leaving this podcast upset.
It's going to come down the pipeline, dude. You can't give it all away, right? I'm not that kind of girl.
You asked us the question and told us to give you your answer, and you're not even going to give us your answer.
My answer is no. This is not the greatest CrossFit Games of all time. And my other answer is no, I will not tell you what that is.
So we were just supposed to say no or yes, and then nothing.
You could, yeah.
Oh man,
I just said no. Do I need to provide reasoning why?
Yes.
When both you guys said no?
We are on an audible show here. You got to provide reason as to why you haven't given an answer.
And I didn't fully say no. I said yes for the women.
Oh, you're a tease.
Yeah.
You're going to call Roby a tease.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm gonna say
it's like. I'm
gonna say all around no. For the women's field, probably yes, but that's not the question. I'm saying all around greatest CrossFit Games of all time. No, although there's probably a good argument that this is one of the best programmed CrossFit Games of all time. Madison for me instantly gives it a downgrade, not an insurmountable downgrade, but a downgrade. The men's field just not being interesting at any point. Just
the men's field has only been interesting a couple times.
Yeah.
So, Rich was amazing, but Rich kept it interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the PEDs thing, as much as I like Ricky, it's not a great look for the games. So
yeah.
There was to go back, the judging in this games was atrocious.
Look, man, we're gonna go through every one of these. And we're gonna have
all terrible calls.
Yeah.
Some of these were pretty egregious, though.
But on that note, we're gonna wrap it up from there, boys. Thank you for joining me tonight, listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love doing these. So if you guys could give us your feedback, how you feel about it, give us some comments, give us some messages. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, check us out on YouTube, and don't forget, hit some of that jerk work, tag us in it. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back very soon. Don't leave, guys.